I'm Clever Ghoul, but you can call me Nikki. Welcome back to the channel. Recently, as I was decorating my fireplace for Halloween, I realized that it felt a little off balance. I have the wreath in the center, which I made on this channel, and if you want that video, I'll link it below. I had my candles and tombstones below the wreath, but it just was missing something on the sides. So I took a picture and brought it into Procreate on my iPad and played around with some ideas of how I wanted to fill that space. And that's when I decided to make some creepy cardboard trees for the sides of the fireplace. I wanted them to go up and kind of slope down over the wreath a little bit if I could. And then I decided that since you can see below the mantelpiece that I wanted to add some roots in to really make the whole thing look more cohesive and grand and just spooky ooky kooky. So to do this project, all you're going to need is some cardboard. I used some old boxes that I'd been saving, and then some painter's tape, a pencil, and some paint, and that's pretty much it. So with all that being said, let's get into it.
To start, I broke down some old boxes and cut off the larger sides of them so they became individual panels. Then I stuck them up on the wall with painter's tape and began sketching on the trees with a pencil while referencing my sketch. Once I was done with the pencil outline, I went in with a Sharpie to really define where I wanted to cut. I repeated the same process on the opposite side, sketching on the trees with pencil and finishing with Sharpie before moving on to the roots. For the roots, I did essentially the same process as before, placing some cardboard panels down, using a pencil to sketch on the root shapes, and then drawing out the final shapes with Sharpie. Once everything was done to my liking, I took the panels off the wall and began to cut them out. I added in some blue painter's tape anywhere the tree needed a little more structure, as well as to attach any additional limbs. I really liked the purple lines in my original sketch, so I decided to paint the edges of the trees and roots in purple acrylic paint. I used a large sponge brush and went all around the edges, and I also worked to cover up any of the blue tape. I waited a while for everything to fully dry and then began to add in the black acrylic paint with a chip brush. I would go in with a coat of the black in the center of the tree and then stipple my way outwards to try and blend out the edges and not have as hard of a transition line between the black and purple. I repeated this process on all of the pieces and then set them aside to dry again. For the final step, I sketched on some lines mimicking a bark-like texture, and then I painted over them with a light gray acrylic paint. After that, it was time to let everything dry before attaching to the walls, which means it's time for the reveal.
Here's the final look. I attached these to the wall with blue painter's tape. I'm so pleased with how this turned out. I think it actually looks better than the sketch I did. I just think it really completed the look of my mantle and added just the perfect spooky effect that I wanted for my little graveyard fireplace scene that I had going on. Doing this was a lot of fun, and honestly, I started to think of all these things I could do in the future, like making flames or stars or all the different things I could add to this in the future to have different creepy looks for Halloween, or really for any holiday. The great thing about this project is that if I want to store these trees, they're flat and easy to shove in a closet. And if I want to get rid of them, at least it's just cardboard that was going to get recycled anyway. This is such an easy project that anyone can do it, and the options are endless. What would you do at home? Would you do a graveyard, some ghosts, a witchy scene? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me over on TikTok and Instagram at cleverghoul.yt. See you next week. Bye!